the mudroom does provide a lot of function. However, it can also create an energy for your body as you enter your home, because you want the first entrance into your home to be like a big warm hug that's happening, and your house is embracing you with a big hug saying, welcome home, with a smile and a sense of warmth and comfort as you enter the house. And walking into chaos does not equate to those same emotions. Welcome to the House of Jermar podcast, where wellness starts within. The House of Jermar is a lifestyle brand empowering women to live all in interior design and personal wellness. We are a destination for women ready to reimagine what is possible in their homes and lives and then create it. We are honored to have you join us on our mission to empower 1 million women to live all in. Welcome to the House of Jermar podcast, where wellness starts within. I'm your host, Jeanne Collins, and this week's guest is me. This is part of my first introductory series where I talk about what does the House of Jermar mean? What does wellness starting within mean? And who am I? You get to know a little bit more about me as your host. So me, Jeanne Collins, I'm an award-winning interior designer. I'm a published author. I'm a motivational speaker, and I'm a mindset coach. And I am the founder of the House of Jermar, where wellness starts within. To me, wellness starts within means focusing on both interior design and personal wellness. So interior design, it's about thinking about what's really in your surroundings and how do your surroundings make you feel? How does your home make you feel? What's the energy of your home? Colors, how do they make you feel? We'll talk more about that on this episode. And then personal wellness, that's how are you taking care of yourself? How are you making yourself a priority? What are you doing about your mindset? What does your life-work balance look like? All of these encompass a lifestyle where you can become the designer of your own life and truly feel like you were really living. In this episode, I'm going to talk about what does wellness-led interior design mean and what does that look like? So I encourage you, go grab a tea. Here's mine. Relax, get comfortable, and I'll talk for a little bit about what wellness-led interior design means to me and how I incorporate it into my business. So when I first meet with clients, I often ask them not just about the function that they're looking to accomplish in their homes, but how do they want to feel in their homes? What is the energy like in their house? I ask them lots of questions about their lifestyle, how they were raised, places they've traveled, how they entertain, how they use their homes, their values, things that are important to them. How do they feel about music? How do they feel about color, textures, different materials, light floors, dark floors? What's on their bucket list? Where do they want to go? It helps me understand them in a deeper level. So one of the things I always ask my clients when we start to talk about wellness-led interiors is what's the first thing they see when they wake up? And this is my way of starting to get them to think a little bit differently, because interior design is not just about making a space pretty or having great function. It's about how does it feel and how does it contribute to your overall personal wellness. By asking the question, what do you first see when you wake up in the morning? Are you looking at a piece of artwork that inspires you? What's up on your ceiling? Is it painted a color? Does it have wallpaper on it? My ceiling is black and white geometric wallpaper that I love. I can get lost in just the geometric pattern in the morning when I first wake up. Or are you looking at a pile of laundry? And when I ask this question, when I speak for my public speaking engagements, it's amazing at how many people in the audience chuckle because they fall into that I'm looking at a pile of laundry when I first wake up. So I encourage my clients and my audience members to think about how is that sensory experience helping you start your day? Because that's not starting your day with a sense of calm or a sense of gratitude or a sense of reflection or a sense of inspiration. That's starting your day with a sense of stress. Laundry is stressful, no matter who you are. Laundry equates to stress. It does not equate for inspiration and motivation. Then I say to people, taking that a step further, let's talk about your sensory experience as you continue on in your morning. What's the first thing that your feet feel? Your feet support you all day long. Think about the number of hours that we spend on our feet and how they are the support system for our entire body and our posture. What's the first thing that your feet feel when they get out of bed? Is it a cold floor? Is it a rug that is kind of torn and worn? Or is it something really soft and plush that makes your senses for your feet feel like, ooh, that's a nice soft awakening? And then as you move your way into your bathroom and you turn on the lights, what happens? Is it like it's Times Square and it gets really, really bright? Or is there soft under cabinet lighting that lights up, that's on dimmers, that softly awakens your eyes to the senses of the bathroom in the day? So I encourage people, think about your senses as you start your day, because we all know it's so important to not wake up first thing in the morning and grab your phone and start looking at your email. You want to start your day with some gratitude, with some intention. Start in a positive space. Give your brain and your body a moment to wake up and reflect on positive things and start your day on the right foot. Think about, what do you see? What do you smell? And what do you feel when you first wake up? That's the beginning of wellness-led design. Another space in your home that you can really consider about the energy of the home and how is it contributing to your overall wellness is where you enter your home. As you enter your home, many people these days enter through a mudroom that is connected to a garage. And you enter, and most people will say the mudroom is filled with coats, shoes, book packs, sporting equipment from the children. There's a lot going on in a mudroom. It serves a lot of function and holds a lot of things. But it also means that you are entering your home with an energy of chaos and disorganization. I say to people, how do you feel when you enter your mudroom? And most times people say, I never really thought about it. The mudroom is a workroom. It provides a lot of function. And I say, I don't disagree. The mudroom does provide a lot of function. However, it can also create an energy for your body as you enter your home, because you want the first entrance into your home to be like a big warm hug that's happening, and your house is embracing you with a big hug saying, welcome home, with a smile and a sense of warmth and comfort as you enter the house. And walking into chaos does not equate to those same emotions. I will say to my clients, okay, first of all, let's understand the function that you need based on your children and their things. And we should probably put everything behind closed doors. But then a mudroom is also a place to be incredibly creative. It's a place where you can put bold tile on the floor that might be in a color palette or in a bold pattern that you wouldn't put anywhere else, but it's okay in a mudroom because it can be a fun space. Or you can paint the cabinets a bold color, a bright blue or orange, yellow even, to make the room pop. You can put wallpaper on the ceiling so that when you walk in and you look up, it's artistic. It gives you a sense of inspiration and creativity as opposed to a sense of chaos. Really think about, are you getting the warm hug when you walk into your entryway? Or are you walking into chaos? Because even if you say that chaos doesn't bother you, subconsciously, it is bothering you. It's not telling your body, this is what I care about you, and I care about the energy that you walk into as you walk into your home. One of my other favorite things to design for clients are what I call the do not disturb spaces. These are spaces where you can go and you can sit, and there's an imaginary sign in front of you for everyone who might enter, all your family members, that says, when I am in this space, do not disturb me. These often can be reading nooks. They can be chairs within an office. They can be chairs in a bedroom. They can be benches that are out in a hallway, or benches that are in between some built-ins where you might sit with a cup of coffee or tea. It can even be a pillow next to the side of your bed where you set up candles, and every time you sit on this pillow, it's your moment to have some time to do not disturb. And in these spaces, I encourage clients, A, reading is so important. You should really consider spending some time reading in this space. But if you say you don't have time for that or you're not interested in reading, then at least consider using these spaces as a time and a place to give your brain time to pause. As you start to sit in these spaces, it's a time to sit and do nothing. And that might be just looking out the window, paying attention to nature. That might be meditating. It might be journaling, but doing something that gives your brain a chance to pause. I encourage clients to just try this for 10 minutes. And it's amazing what happens, because as your body over time starts to sit in this space, the moment you sit in that space, you can start to feel the stress get relieved, and you can start to feel your heart rate slow down, and you can start to feel your breathing slow down, your shoulders release, and you becoming more peaceful in this space. And I know for myself, I crave my time in that special space that I have in my room, and I use it for meditating, journaling, reading. Like I said, sometimes just looking out the window and enjoying nature, and watching some birds fly around or watching the cars go by. It is a way to give my brain a chance to just breathe and a chance to pause. And then everyone knows when I'm sitting in that chair, that's my time. And that's my do not disturb time. As people often ask me, if there's one thing that they could do to help improve their mindset or make themselves a priority, what would it be? And that would be the one thing I would encourage you to do, is to find that space within your home where you can go and sit and you can give your brain a chance to pause and just give yourself a chance to rest And over time, that rest will build up to wanting more than just 10 minutes to rest. Another thing I talk about with wellness for interior design are colors. Colors are so fabulous. And everyone says, what is the color? What's the trend? And I always say, don't focus on what the trend is. Focus on what you like. You live in your home, not me. You live there. And everyone has a different relationship to color. Colors are very emotional. A lot of times we feel certain ways about colors because of past experiences that we've had with them. For example, I love the color yellow. My grandmother loved the color yellow and had a yellow chair in her house. I equate yellow to her. It was one of her favorite colors, and she had several rooms in her home that were painted yellow. I have a yellow sunroom, and I absolutely love it. But I also have had yellow in a bedroom and just felt that didn't have the right energy that I wanted for a bedroom. I took the yellow out and I made it a soft pale gray because to me that felt more serene for a bedroom. Where yellow for the sunroom to me feels appropriate. It has lots of light and it's just joyful and cheery. And so for me, yellow in that space feels right. But there are some people who don't like yellow at all. My painter doesn't like yellow. He constantly is telling me I need to take the yellow off those walls. But for me, I like that yellow. It makes me cheery. Same thing is true for reds. Red can be a very vibrant color. It can also be an angry color. If you're in a household and have a couple that tend to argue a lot, I tell you, don't put red in your dining room. That's not good energy to do that because it's such an angry color. Blues, lots of people feel different ways about blues or greens or purples or even black and white. Lots of people love black and white. For us as designers, it never goes out of style. Designing in black and white, it's timeless and classic. But some people don't like black and white. They find it too bland and too flat and not soft enough. I always encourage people when I'm designing for them, we have conversations about colors and how do they feel and how do the different partners and people who live in that house feel about different colors and really trying to get them to think about the emotions tied to those colors and where did those come from and the memories that they associate with those colors. I'll give you an example. Very early on in my career when I started my business, I was doing a double-story family room renovation for a client, and it was a beautiful double-story room with lots of millwork in it, all these old beams, and all of the floors, all of the millwork around the windows, all of the beams were all a yellow stained wood. There was lots and lots of yellow wood. And then the couple had this really large brown sectional and a very large brown rug. And then there was also an eat-in area there, and they had a black table with black chairs. And the room was so dark, and they had these big, beautiful windows. And we decided that we were going to create much more of a Zen feeling room. And so I painted all the walls white, bright, bright, bright white, Benjamin Moore, super white. And we painted all of the trim around the windows, including the windows themselves, black so that you could look through the windows more easily with your eyes and not be blocked by what was happening and have a clearer view of the yard. We also added 2 additional windows so they would have more of a view of the backyard because their property was so beautiful. And then all of the furniture was white. And they had 3 kids and 2 dogs. And we did these really large white sofas because they wanted to be able to seat 12 in this room. And then we did a really lush white with a very soft gray carpet. And all of the furniture was white or a light gray. And even the dining room chairs, they were white. And the beauty of it is this was all white performance fabric. And so I took a sample of the fabric one day and I poured red wine on it and recorded a video for my client of me pouring red wine on it and then me getting it off with water and then a little bit of soap at the end and it came right off. And I convinced them that the white sofas were going to work for this Zen vibe of this room. And the whole room, when you're doing a neutral color palette and everything is a light color, you achieve depth and perspective in the room. It doesn't look flat by having lots of different textures, lots of different woven materials. There were patterns within patterns. There was a white ottoman where people could put their feet up on, but that was indoor-outdoor fabric. You could clean it. This room was so amazing. And of course, their oldest son put it to test right at the very beginning. He went out and drank a bunch of beers and had a red Gatorade and then proceeded to throw up all over the sofa. And they sent it out to be professionally cleaned and they got the red Gatorade out of this all white sofa. He put it to the test right away. And the youngest son spilled chocolate on the white dining chairs the first week as well. And that came out with soap and water. When we finished this room and we were photographing it with a professional photographer, afterwards, the husband came up to me and he said, you know, I never realized until we changed the room how stressed the yellow and the brown in this room made me feel. And now I walk into this room and it truly is a Zen living space and I can enjoy the view out the windows. And I literally feel myself after a long day of work walking into this room and feeling my shoulders drop and feeling more relaxed. And I just thought to myself, that is so fabulous. That is why I do what I do. Because not only am I creating a beautiful space for someone, but I'm improving their lifestyle within their own home and I'm helping them have better energy. And also by having wellness-led interior design, I'm helping them have a greater connection to that energy and then to themselves and to their wellness starting within. One more story about wellness-led design, which is artwork. Ugh, I love artwork. So a lot of times clients will have artwork and then I will design a space around a piece of artwork. Or if they don't have artwork, then I will go and I will find artwork that goes with the design of the room. And artwork can be so important in a room design. Artwork is also incredibly important when you're talking about new construction and new builds. It's so important in those stages to bring in an interior designer who can really help clients think about where do they want to have artwork and what type of artwork do they like, and making sure that you have wall space that's large enough to accommodate large artwork, and also making sure you have lighting for that artwork as well, so that your artwork can be the jewelry to a room, because that's exactly what it is. So oftentimes I say to clients, if they don't like color, I'll say, well, artwork is a great place to add color. By adding color on the wall, it's different than adding it in a rug or adding it in a piece of furniture. Or if someone wants an all neutral design of a black and white room, we could add some really big, bold black and white photography, especially photography of animals or of different places. I've done things of London, black and white photographs of London, of Big Ben. And these large black and white photographs on a wall, if framed properly and lit properly, can be so impactful, make such a statement when you walk into a room that might have very neutral colors. But the other thing that's so important about artwork, not only is it just the jewelry of the room, is that artwork evokes emotion, and artwork can also evoke memories. It could be artwork of a place that a couple has been or that someone has been to, or something that has significance to them. For example, we have something about zebras in my family. My stepmother gave my daughter a stuffed zebra when she was about 2 years old, and she still has it at 17. We've always had a fondness for zebras. I bought a very large black and white photograph of zebras from an African safari and put it up on the wall. And it just makes me smile because it reminds me of my stepmother who gave my daughter the zebra. And it just reminds me of her stuffed zebra that has played such a role of comfort to my daughter while she was growing up and when she was younger. So zebras have meaning. Looking at the zebra on the wall gives me meaning and emotion. I encourage clients when we talk about artwork, think about things that excite them. It's not just about a style or a type of painting or paint on canvas or texture or photography or black and white versus color. It's also looking at artwork from an emotional perspective and how does it make you feel? And going back to, like I said, with the mudroom, does the artwork make you feel like you're inspired, like you're getting a big, huge hug by the room as you enter it? Is it a wow factor when you walk into someone's entryway? I've put big, bold, red artwork in a silver and white entryway before. And it makes such a statement as you enter that house because the artwork is so bold and it really makes you notice it and take note of the intricacies of such artwork. It's a statement piece as you enter a house and it creates a whole level of energy in that house that it didn't have before we added the red. So artwork is another way where I can really encourage clients, think about how the artwork can give back to you and the energy that artwork creates. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the House of Jermar podcast with me, myself, talking about what does wellness-led interior design mean. I still look forward to sharing with you some other guests that will speak on similar subjects related to interior design and wellness. I thank you for being part of the House of Jermar community and for helping us on our mission to empower 1 million women to live all in through interior design and personal wellness. I look forward to seeing you again next week, and have a great week. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the House of Jermar podcast, where wellness starts within. We appreciate you being a part of our community and hope you felt inspired and motivated by our guest. If you enjoyed this episode, please write us a review and share it with friends. Building our reach on YouTube and Apple Podcasts will help us get closer to our mission to empower 1 million women to live all in. You can also follow us on Instagram at House of Jermar and sign up to be a part of our monthly inspiration newsletter through our website, houseofjermar.com. If you or someone you know would be a good guest on the show, please reach out to us at podcast@houseofjermar.com. This has been a House of Jermar production with your host, Jeanne Collins. Thank you for joining our house.